Boy State! Thank you. Now, where are my feds in the house? Are there any gnats in the house? Now, I understand that there are 1,100 plus Boys State in the house. Is this the best Boys State in the U.S.A.? Do you believe it? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I want to hear from the best Boys State in all of the USA. Now, let me check it one more time. Are there any feds in the house? Are there any All right. Now, you doing all right? How's everybody doing today? Woo! I love Boys State. I love coming back to Boys State. This is an exciting program. There are so many members of Congress who went to Boys State, senators who went to Boys State, business leaders who went to Boys State. This is the premier organization of young men in America. You are sitting in the seats where leaders across our state have sat. You are the best of the best, and we expect the most amazing things just from the Nats. The feds, give it up. Maybe we only expect the best things from the Nats. All right, now, I only have two things to tell you, and then we'll spend some time listening and answering your questions. So two things. Number one, as I was introduced today, grew up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty, lost my way. When I was a freshman in high school, there's no way in the world I was going to be a Boy Stater. I was a terrible student. I was lost. As a matter of fact, As a freshman in high school, I basically flunked out. I failed world geography. I am the first United States senator to fail civics, the study of politics. Now, wow. Your leader says, wow, dude, seriously, that's terrible. Now, having spent 6 years in the Senate, I am not the only senator to fail civics. A lot of our fellows ain't doing so good in the United States Senate. I also failed Spanish and English. Now, when a brother fails Spanish and English, nobody calls him bilingual. No, they call him bi-ignorant. Yes, he can't speak in any language. That's where I found my happy self. But I had two major blessings. One was a great mentor that you just heard about, John Moniz, Chick-fil-A operator, who saw something in me that I could not see in myself. And then I had an amazing mom who encouraged me. She spoke to me and she encouraged me. She loved me. And when I didn't get her message of encouragement clearly enough, one night she walked me out to a tree and she taught me this new concept called the psychology of a switch. Anyone understand what a switch is? Now, for those of you unfamiliar with a switch is a Southern apparatus of encouragement. It is typically applied from your belt to your ankles. My mama thoroughly encouraged me. But she taught me to always dream. She taught me to believe that the best is yet to come. And by the time I was a senior, I caught up with my class, finished on time, earned a small football scholarship to Presbyterian College. Go Blue Hose! PC! Two of us in here. Good job. Anyways, first lesson to you, first thought to you is to always, always hold on to your dreams in spite of what you see, in spite of what you face, in spite of what you watch on the news. The fact of the matter is all things are possible in this country. The second thing is learn to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. This may be the defining concept of the 21st century. As we learn to take a stand, standing in the gap for those who cannot do it for themselves. 1,100 leaders in the House this morning. Our state needs leaders who are willing to do the tough job, the tough work, who never quit, who never surrender, who are always challenging the norms. That's what we expect from those chosen to be a member of Boys State. Now that the speech is over, I got to do what I got to do. I'm gonna take a selfie. Let's see if we can get 1,100 people in the same place.
So eater, you already know.
Let's see here. All right. Let's do another one. One more. Let's get us all in here. Yeah, Boys State. All right. Almost. Let's answer. Thank you, sir. Let's answer a few questions. If you have some questions, I'm happy to answer some questions. And if I don't like your question, I just won't answer your question. Steve, baby! Let's give it up for Steve in the house!
All right, guys, one of the things we told you is one of the unique opportunities we have at Boise State is to actually engage with our public servants and to ask them questions. So we've got 2 microphones, 1 in each aisle. If you have a question for Senator Scott, and if it's a relevant and intelligent question for Senator Scott, then please, you can get out of your seats and come down. We're not going to be able to get to all of you, but we're going to line you up in the aisle, and we will go, we'll start on the left with Brett, and then we'll go to the right with James. And please, do us a favor, guys. Senator Scott wants to know your names. Tell us your name. Tell us the city that you're in at Boise State, and tell us the city that you're from in South Carolina, and then ask your question, okay? We got it? Nobody over here yet? So, James, you got anybody? Yeah, y'all come on down, guys, all the way down, yeah. Hey, listen, we're not going to be able to get to all of you. Senator Scott can't stay all day, so just understand when it's time to go, it's time to go. All right, Brett, you first. Here we go. Senator, listen up, guys.
Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
My name is John Acker. I'm from the great city of Innery. My hometown is Bluffton, South Carolina.
Bluffton.
Yes, sir.
Bluffton, baby.
Yes, sir. And I'm curious, what's the most challenging part about being in the U.S. Senate?
I think the most challenging part of this job is you spend a lot of time away from your loved ones, a lot of time away from South Carolina. You're on the road typically 3 to 4 days a week. You're on planes 2 to 3 times a week. You study 14 to 16 hours a day. You work and study 14 to 16 hours a day. So it's probably the workload is pretty heavy. And then, like for me, I'm on the finance committee, so I'm talking about taxes. I'm on the armed services committee, so I'm learning about hypersonic weapons that travel 5, 10 times the speed of sound, that we have to develop new technologies to defend this country. But what I love about this job is stuff like this right here, because I know the future is better. So that's really good.
Thank you, Senator.
Morning, Senator. My name is Hampton Randall from Greenville, South Carolina. And
Greenville, you're almost home. Greenville?
Greenville.
Greenville.
I'm in the great city of Saluda.
Oh.
In this current political climate, do you have any tips to allow change to happen, even with the bipartisanship that is so set in right now?
Absolutely. So bipartisanship is a lost art in Washington, D.C., and it slows down process and progress for the nation. One of the things that I've tried to do, even though I'm a conservative from South Carolina, is I look for champions on the other side of the aisle who will come alongside me and help me push legislation. Cory Booker from New Jersey, he and I have worked on 3 or 4 pieces of legislation have passed. So if you have the will and the tenacity, you can get your legislative vehicles into law if you look for friends on the other side. It is helpful for the country to see people working together. And the fastest way to get there is 4 steps. 1, you have to have rapport. Most of us run to the problems. It's hard to solve problems if all you talk about are problems. If you actually want to make a difference in this world, you have to have rapport with people, and then credibility. You have to be credible in their eyes. If you have rapport and credibility, then you have permission to solve the problems. The reason why Cory and I have done so well together legislatively is because we have rapport and credibility, which allows us to tackle problems facing America's most distressed communities.
Hello, Senator. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
My name is Henry Lear. I am from the great city of Ennery, right here. And I live in Greenville, South Carolina. It was a pleasure talking to you back in March about a number of issues, but what I wanted to ask today is for you to tell us a little bit more about your Opportunity Zones legislation, and also ask, what would you say to critics who say that solely reforming the tax code won't lift entire communities out of poverty?
Yeah, so long story short, you heard my story about growing up in poverty. I created legislation called the Opportunity Zones, Investing in Opportunity Act. What that basically did was it allows for about $2 trillion of capital gains to come into the poorest parts of the country. So if we get that accomplished, we could transform the quality of the experience in the poorest parts of America that has been passed into law. For those who say that tax cuts alone will not encourage enough economic opportunities for all, they're right. Tax cuts alone will not do that if we do not have a capable workforce. We have 6 million jobs open, 6.4 million jobs open today, and only 6 million people looking for work. We could essentially eliminate our 3.8% unemployment rate if those who are looking for work had the skills to do the 6.4 million jobs that are today open. So we need to focus a lot of our time, a lot of our energy in making sure that our workforce have the skills for the 21st century.
Thank you.
Good morning, Senator. My name is Woods Wooten, and I'm from Lexington, South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
I belong to the great city of Congaree. Mr. Steve talked about how you didn't really care about the politics part of Capitol Hill, but your overall goal was unification, and I was wondering, with the country that seems so divided, do you ever see that unification?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm an eternal optimist, and frankly, the question has to do with, do I ever see this country unifying? And the answer is yes. We have overcome so much. And here's one of the biggest challenges that we face as a nation. Some of us spend a lot of time on yesterday. There are others of us who spend a lot of time in tomorrow. Unfortunately, there aren't enough of us who spend time understanding yesterday to make tomorrow better. That is a unique skill set that we as a people must employ if we're going to make it better for the nation. As an example, I'm an African American. Did you know that? Some of y'all did. I look at your faces, I can tell some of y'all did not. So here's the fact. I am familiar with the challenges of our past history on race. I'm not going to sidestep that. But I'm also familiar with the amazing progress that we've made as a nation. When I was in Boise State 30 plus years ago, it was a different country than it is today. We've made so much progress. If you want the country to unify, you have to do two things simultaneously, and they are not mutually exclusive. The first thing you have to do is be optimistic about the future because you understand the successes and the failures of the past. We've overcome slavery. We've overcome World War I, World War II. We overcame the Korean conflict, Vietnam, the 1960s, the early 70s. We as a nation, we are not only survivors, we are thrivers. We do so because we understand the pain of the past and we use it to present solutions for the future. When we start only understanding the pain of the past, we make it harder for the future. If we only understand the hope of the future and we ignore the pain of the past, we make it harder to get to that future.
Hello, Senator. My name is DeAndre. I'm from the great city of Kiowee.
Kiwi's in the house.
And you are African-American conservative, and
Okay.
I have conservative values too. So,
Once,
and I never told
cut.
my family or anything, because you know how people react to African-American conservative, all the things they say about us. How would you
Just
say,
follow my Twitter account. You can learn more about it.
I do follow your Twitter account.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How would you say I should combat those kind of negative comments given to an African-American conservative?
Yeah, I tell you what, the closest thing to, I'm not sure that there's anything called, I'm not sure that there's actually, let me say how. I'm not sure that there are unicorns. But if there is a unicorn, it might be a black Republican. I'm not sure if they exist or not, but if they do exist, I might be one. It is hard being both black and conservative, and if you follow my Twitter account, you understand and appreciate the pain and the misery affiliated with being said individual. As a young conservative, the thing that I would recommend to you is that there's always proof in the pudding. If you're having an emotional argument with somebody, both sides loses. But if you can turn that into a fact-based discussion about why it is that conservative principles have undergirded the greatest success, this is the third longest economic recovery in the history since 1854 of this country. You can see facts that suggest that. Here's what I try to do as a conservative. I talk about the facts that work, but at the same time, when I hear rhetoric that doesn't work, when I see things that are inconsistent with my conservative values coming from conservatives, it is my responsibility to take a step up and stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. That happened for me after Charlottesville. After Charlottesville, I had some very strong criticisms of the president. He called and said, why don't you come to the White House and sit down and talk with me about what he said and versus what I understand. Now, we didn't leave the room on the same page, but because I had the wherewithal to make a critical comment and he had the wherewithal and the integrity to say, listen, I might not see the world like you see it because I haven't experienced what you've experienced. Here's a chance for us to come together as two folks on the same side of the aisle to solve differences. It's one of the reasons why I said standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves is absolutely essential if we are going to keep this country moving together. I celebrate our success from a policy standpoint, and I stand up to be counted when I disagree with the rhetoric. Now, there's rhetoric on both sides. I think I am responsible for standing up against the rhetoric of conservatives and sometimes the rhetoric of African Americans, which does not make me popular on either side sometimes. But you got to do what's right, because right is always better than easy.
In a minute, we only take 2 more questions. I'm sorry about you sitting in the aisle. Sorry about that. I told you that we wouldn't be able to get them all. We got 2 more questions, and then we're going to get the senator out of here.
Sounds good.
Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, sir.
Noah Tweed from Piedmont in the great city of Saluda.
My city, Saluda.
My only question for you today is, how has Palmetto Boys State helped or persuaded you to get into politics?
Yeah, let me tell you what. When I arrived at Palmetto Boys State in 1982, I was a nervous rising senior. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was walking into. And about 30 seconds after being in Boys State, those nerves turned into excitement. And by the end of the week, the most important thing I had done was develop strong, powerful friendships that serve me today. One of the most important parts that Boys State plays in my life, and that's why I love coming back, is that this is going to be one of the best weeks of your life. I've had some major accomplishments, but Boys State stands high and above the vast majority. So the friendships that you make, birds of a feather, so 13 of y'all know that. Birds of a feather. Number one thing you do at Boys State, make sure that you get the best of the best and you become friends with as many folks as possible. Number 2, the dreams of the people that you're around will help you dream bigger dreams. So important. And number 3, just have a good time.
How are you doing, Senator? My name is Stephen Colonis. I belong to the great city of PD.
PD!
I'm from Florence, South Carolina.
You are from the PD. You're in the PD and you're from the PD.
I just want to ask you, before you stop being a senator and turn the page on your life, what are some of your goals that you like to accomplish?
So, excellent question. Goals I want to accomplish, and I'll make a final comment after I answer this question. First goal I wanted to accomplish, I have actually accomplished, which was getting the tax code changed to help single mamas.
For giving him his gear and
Huge part of what I wanted to do. Are we good? Okay. So tax cuts was very important. Number 2, I want to make sure that education hits every zip code in a quality way. One of the fears that I have today is that the haves and the have-nots, the difference between those who are doing well and those who are not doing well, is having quality education in your neighborhoods, in your zip codes. That's my second biggest opportunity from my perspective as a senator. Third is to continue to work on entrepreneurship to small business owners. Small business changed my financial life. It changed my mama's life. It made it possible for me to do for her what I thought only sports could do. So making sure that we have good terrain for small businesses to flourish is my third ingredient for a successful career. Thank you very much for the question. Let me close with this. When I say we are, you say Boy State. We are. Boy State. We are. Boy State. We are. Boy State. We are. Boy State. Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Senator, come on up.
We are. Boy State. We are. Boy State. We are. Boy State. All right, let's do it one time like you really mean it. Let Stephen hear it way deep in his eardrums. He can't hear you yet, but say it one more. Steve, get ready. Steve. One more time. Steve, like you love him. All right. We are.